What up, gents? Welcome to the Simsational Gent. I am your host and retired chief, Sean C. Let me tell you something. Today, we're going to go over why men should be Killmonger from Black Panther, the world of Black Panther, instead of Michael B. Jordan. Now, I haven't had an opportunity to talk about this subject since everybody has been bringing it up. And I'm not trying to really go in deep into their relationship, but I do want to talk about how men need to conduct themselves such that they don't find themselves in the same situation as Michael B. Jordan. And let me go ahead and stop that music. So today we have much to discuss in terms of who men should be. And I want you guys to know that that this has been quite a week for me. And it's been quite a week. I've been kind of laying low and stuff like that, working on other things, and just trying to make the channel a little bit better, trying to add new things to the mix. Maybe you've noticed. Starting to try to do more daily posts and stuff like that in the community tab. And I am also putting more stuff on the IG channel. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the IG channel, right, make sure you guys go and check out the IG channel, which is at the Simsational Gent. And today I didn't get a chance to put a post up because for some reason I couldn't download the picture I have for you guys. So maybe I'll put that on later, or I'll put it on first thing tomorrow. But I am trying more often to post to IG. So go over to the IG channel where I just post little thoughts of the day. Also there, you're gonna find more videos of my daily life here, living in Mexico. So between that, this channel, I'm also putting out more travel videos along with the content that we're talking about right now. So I hope you guys, if you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon notification next to the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my travel adventures or the discussions that we are having here on the Simsational Gent. And I want it to be known, I want it to be put out there that here at the Simsational Gent, that we also support the business, the company, Surfshark. Real quick, I'm just gonna put in a quick plug, but I'm here traveling on the road, and you need protection for your computer. You need protection to make sure that nobody's gonna try to hack your computer, take your money, and stuff like that. My Alexa just responded. That's funny. So you wanna make sure you have protection. Also, you might wanna watch the shows and them not be coded to the region that you're in, instead of getting those ads and stuff from the other countries. And you want a VPN that's going to help you. The Surfshark is the one. Now, you click the link in the description or follow the link that's down here on the banner and subscribe to Surfshark. You get 83% off of your subscription if you use the promo code GENT, G-E-N-T. And they'll even give you 3 months for free. So that's my plug for Surfshark. I use it here while I've been on the road. I'm telling you right now, it's been great. Can't even deny it. So again, if you guys are here today, again, we're going to be talking about why men should be Killmonger and not Michael B. Jordan. All right. So when more people start coming up, I'm going to do customary. Every day that people come up on the channel, if you leave a comment in the channel, I always give shout outs. I'll wait to give the shout outs in a little bit. And then sometime after I get done talking about the initial stuff, then if there's anybody that wants to come on the show, there's a link in the chat section so that you guys can come on the channel and then we can discuss today's topic. All right. And then I'll do my breakdown. We'll do the question of the day. And then we'll go ahead and end the show, all right? So, I was looking, and I've been meant to put a video out talking about Michael B. Jordan and his situation. At first, I didn't really see much there as a dude getting married. And you would think Sean, you talk about all these things on this channel. Why wouldn't you talk about the Michael B. Jordan, Lori Harvey situation? And the way I looked at it was that, you know, this was a man, Michael B. Jordan is a dude that's a good dude. You don't hear anything bad about Michael B. Jordan in the press. This guy, maybe he's had a few different lovers or different people he would talk to. Same thing for the girlfriend that he was talking to, Lori Harvey. She's apparently had, you know, plenty of famous lovers. She's the daughter of Steve Harvey. You can't miss that dude with the big ass mustache, right? Family Feud, the Steve Harvey Show. Okay, that's his daughter. And she was dating Michael B. Jordan. Now, Michael B. Jordan is actually one of the hottest up and coming, and I can say up and coming, he's established himself, okay? Michael B. Jordan has established himself as a good actor, a powerful actor in this sphere. He's done a lot of great movies. Whatever he does, he crushes it. He was in Creed. He was in Black Panther. He was in the drama. I can't remember the name of the movie, but he was in the courtroom and stuff like that, where he was a lawyer. He also did Without Remorse, which is also on the Amazon Prime channel. So Michael B. Jordan is starting to add to his repertoire, if you will, of movies, high value movies that you find him in. Now, if you go by, I say high value man, Michael B. Jordan being a high value man, and you'll remember the dearly departed Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to The Godfather. But The Godfather had a different definition of what a high value man is. He said that people that were athletes and entertainers are in their whole other world. And that's true. You know, it's unfortunate because we try to talk about our relationships in terms of actors and sports people and entertainers. And the way that actors, entertainers, and sports people's relationship goes is completely different than the way normal life goes. They can't date the same. They can't date really people outside of that, because if they were to date somebody who's outside of it, then if they can't handle that spotlight, then, you know, that could be a problem for them. And there are high earning, high value actors and actresses that are married to people that are just quote unquote normal people. But, you know, those people tend to, you don't hear about them. They stay back. They allow their significant other to do what they got to do. They support their significant other in their careers. So when we look at Michael B. Jordan, we're looking at a man who has, again, been out of the news, established himself as far as a good actor, and you don't hear a lot about him in the press. So it's surprising what recently happened to Michael B. Jordan. Now, if you don't know, Michael B. Jordan had been dating Lori Harvey for about a year, and in which case he proposed to her. Now, Lori Harvey has dated some really high value dudes. I think that with her resume, she seems to be the girl, the go-to girl of a lot of big stars. And Michael B. Jordan had a chance to land this woman for a year. So after a year, whatever was going on in their relationship seemed like everything was just cool, right? Seemed like they had everything going on. Seems like everything was fine. And then Michael B. Jordan proposed to Lori Harvey, decided that he was done just dating her, that he looked at her as he wanted this woman to be his wife. And she's a known entity because of her father and because of the people she's dating. So when Michael B. Jordan decided to propose to this woman, she rejected his proposal. So now you have people talking about, hey, you know, Michael B. Jordan was simping over her, and, you know, I don't know why he tried to marry this woman when she dated so many people and stuff. Her resume her track record with these dudes. She for the streets, all these things. On the flip side, when Michael B. Jordan, the man that women actually thirst after this dude, when he got rejected by Lori Harvey, you actually had some women that was like, good for her, allow her to go ahead and live her life and do what she got to do. And it's like, what kind of message are women trying to send? In one case, you see them talking about, I want a high value man. Modern women talk about it all the time. I want a high value man. I want a good man. Want him to be good, make a lot of money, all these different things. Have status and position such that he's influential. And this dude is influential in Hollywood. He keeps landing the big roles. He is someone that you recognize easily. And yet that was not good enough for the likes of Lori Harvey to marry, to take the proposal set by Michael B. Jordan and think that this man would be good enough to be her husband. Now, that's something I briefly saw. I don't know the details behind it, but it seems like Lori Harvey's mother was also against her marrying Michael B. Jordan. And maybe there's something I'm missing, right? Maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments or in the chat. Why is it that Lori Harvey's mother had a problem with Michael B. Jordan being a husband? Because again, this dude, you don't hear him having negative press. You don't hear this man going through various issues. Give me a second, you guys. I want to close the window because I can hear all the birds and stuff chirping outside. And okay, so I don't know what the problem is with having a dude like Michael B. Jordan to be considered. When you're talking about being considered, right? This guy seems to check all the boxes, right? He checks all the boxes for what a woman, say they should want from a man. All right. So that's why I say that men need to be more like Killmonger. If you are not familiar with Killmonger, who he was, we're just going to go not by the comics, we're going to go about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Killmonger was a graduated out of MIT. He was a military man. He is a brilliant strategist, right? This man he's very intelligent. He has the ability to be able to fix things. He's also an engineer, right? So this man has everything going on for himself. What you don't see from Killmonger is him worrying about what woman is in his life. Killmonger, for all intents and purposes, is mission oriented. Now, if you go by the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Killmonger had one thing on his mind, and that was him basically putting himself in a position of power, because he is actually I was about to say, damn, Killmonger was one of the heirs of the throne to Zamunda. No, but he's not an heir to that. But if you talk about Wakanda, then his dad was the brother of T'Challa's father, the king. I forgot his name, my damn self. But the point is, he's an heir to the throne potential. So Killmonger has all these accolades. This dude is on paper what women would want. But why I say that men should be like Killmonger is for a number of reasons. First of all, this is a man that is driven. This is a man that had a goal, a purpose, and that was to see the power of Wakanda being used to help other Black people. Now, you can call that evil because he would take out the whole world to do it. He wanted to rule and conquer the world. That makes him no better than a dictator. And that's not the part that I want to emphasize. But I do want to say that being a man on your purpose, being a man on your mission, where he worked on himself, he's physically gifted, he's mentally gifted, and he's not worried about anything else but the purpose. As opposed to Michael B. Jordan, who, again, he's an accomplished man. He's done a lot of things. But what he did do was allow himself to, instead of focusing on his purpose, he focused on a woman. And not any woman, but a woman that, oh my God, how did I do that? Sorry about that, y'all. He focused on a woman who is not ready to be a wife, who is not marriage-minded. That's who he was focused on. Michael B. Jordan is a good dude who tried to make an honest woman out of Lori Harvey. Killmonger, on the other hand, wasn't worried about what girl he was with. He was worried about accomplishing the mission. Killmonger was worried about, hey, I got this purpose I got to go after. I'm not worried about any of this other noise on the side. I'm focused on what I need to do. And I believe with all my heart, when men start to really focus on their purpose and not be deterred, then I think that you allow the right woman to come into your life. Because if she can't help facilitate the mission, the goals, the dreams that you are on, if she isn't helping you on your quest, these are accomplished men, both Michael B. Jordan and Killmonger, the character. So just bringing in any woman into your life can disrupt what you are trying to do, man, what you are trying to accomplish. And here on the Simsational Gent, I talk about it all the time. I talk about men being on their purpose, working on themselves, getting yourself straight before you go ahead and give yourself to a woman. Now, there's a whole nother topic in there where we talk about marriage, and I believe that we'll get into that later on. But I want to focus right now on the differences between Killmonger and Michael B. Jordan. There is nothing wrong with what Michael B. Jordan did. Yet and still you have women that are like, oh, girl, you did okay. Good for you. You ain't got to stay with him. But these are the same women that will go ahead and say they want a man like Russell Wilson. You want a man like what Sierra has, like Russell Wilson. And what would you do with that man? You would only be looking to use him for his money. You would only be looking to take a dude like Michael B. Jordan and use him for what he can give to you, not for who he is. Whereas a man like Killmonger isn't going to put up with it. If you aren't going to help him achieve what he's trying to achieve, if you're not going to help this man get to where he needs to be, then what good are you? What good are you to a high value man? And that is a whole nother topic that I was going to talk about at some other point. Now, right now, everybody has the sad emojis with Michael B. Jordan, the crying face, Michael B. Jordan, because he got rejected by Lori Harvey. We are so quick in this society to diss men who get dissed, right? If a man gets played, you see nothing but people giving that man crap. Soon as a woman gets dissed or played, then everybody's like, oh, I feel so bad for her. Oh my God, what a dog. If Michael B. Jordan had played Lori Harvey, and wind up and you find out he was sleeping with a whole bunch of people, that dude would be, he would be the scum of the earth to these modern women today. Girl, you didn't need him anyway. He was a dog. He's this, he's that. But when it comes to being a man, nobody gives a crap. If you were a man, if you were a good man, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares that you out there busting your tail for your woman, for your future family. He gets played, a good man gets played, and they're like, girl, you can move on. But if that man plays that woman, then everybody's like, yo, cancel this dude. He's a piece of crap. And this is the double standard, gentlemen, ladies, that we see in this society today. And it's no wonder that men are checking out this process. And again, I don't want to get into the marriage aspect because that's a whole nother topic. Check out my past videos on that. But if we had to talk about it, I don't think Michael B. Jordan should have proposed to Lori Harvey. A man like Killmonger, who's on his purpose, who's on his mission, who ain't taking no crap off of nobody, wouldn't even propose to this woman. Because he'd have known she for the streets. He would have known that already. And this, ladies, when you sit there and you say there's no good men left, and you see men like Michael B. Jordan, who you don't see in the news, who you don't see in the media, who you don't see them talking crap, you don't hear nothing about these type of dudes. And you wonder why these dudes end up being players. You wonder why these dudes go ahead and you see them with 2 or 3 girls on their arm. Another person that I'm gonna bring up is Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, Leonardo DiCaprio, after a woman turns 25, Leonardo ain't even trying to hear that no more. You are gone. Because after that point, that's about the point where modern women are starting to, they start to change their mentality. They can't learn nothing from a man. I talked about this in the previous show, that if a woman feels like she can't at least learn from you or look at you with some type of reverence, she will move on. She will find that dude that she finds exciting. She will find that next dude that she can climb and monkey bar the ladder to. Let me get to the chat real quick. I see my boy up in here. Shout out to my boy Lucis. Thank you for being here, brother. All right. I know we got a few people in here tonight and kind of low tonight on whatever, but the show goes on. The show got to go on. And tonight I'm going to talk about it. Why men need to be Killmonger. Killmonger ain't putting up with that crap. Killmonger would have never put himself in a situation where he talks to a Lori Harvey. What does she have to offer this dude? You got a great career. He can go and find himself a woman that don't have the body count that she does. Oh yes, it matters, ladies. And you can sit there and say, well, dude can have a body count. Why can't a girl have a body count? It's because when women start having a body count, there are characteristics that you start to notice about ladies that have high body counts. Women that have high body counts tend to not be able to have stable relationships, especially if the dudes before you were more exciting. See, by the time a woman gets to a calm dude after she has a high body count, it's because she is tired of getting played. She wants to go with the safe dude. And after a while, and I'm saying that the jury is still out on this because we don't have the empirical data yet, but we can see data points that I do not believe in today's day and age that these women, modern women, are built or ready to be wives. Hence, I do not see women staying around for the long haul. I do not believe that modern day marriages can last the long haul. Do people make it? Yes, but the people that we see making it at this point into deep marriage are people that have already been married, people that have been born in the 1950s, early 1950s. My mom was born in the late 1950s and she's alone right now. So you got to go back to where those values, you know, the woman that's still with her husband, she's in her 70s. You guys may not know this, but great divorce is up. You want to know what a great divorce is? Divorce is over 50 years old. That's up. We also know that 80% of divorces are initiated by women. So right now we are in a pickle. Michael B. Jordan was going to wipe up a woman that has a body count of famous people. People that are more exciting than he is. If you were a guy like Michael B. Jordan, you're doing all the right things. Why is it that a high value man like Michael B. Jordan gets rejected? Is this not what modern women said they wanted? A high value man that has money, a high value man that has the prestige, a high value man that can be there, that looks good. You got, the dude keep himself in shape. What does he got to, what do men have to do? What do good men have to do? Let me put it that way. Not men. What do good men have to do? What do good men have to do? They're not good enough. See, women don't want the guy out there working a 9 to 5 in the construction, maybe working in the sewers, maybe an electrician or a plumber, somebody that's making decent money. They're just not making that high value money. They're just not making it. So that's why we're talking about this. Let me get to the chat. Since we got more people, I'm gonna start doing some shout outs. Again, I want to thank my boy Lucis for being here. He's been on the show a few times. Been actually keeping the conversation going. Lucis says tonight, the show must go on. Absolutely. I'm glad to see all you guys starting to show up. Thank you for being here tonight to the Simsational Gent. And this is a great topic. Absolutely. Lucis, when I saw this, I know I haven't talked about Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey yet. I haven't. And I didn't really want to talk about it, to be honest. Things that people see a story in, maybe that's why my channel isn't as big as some of these other channels. I just didn't want to talk about it. Because I don't want to always be talking about celebrities. I find myself having to talk about celebrities. I don't give a shit about the celebrities. Excuse my French. I don't care about the celebrities. But there are things that we can learn. These are the people that we can see, that we can generalize around, because everybody kind of understands who these people are. All right? So I didn't want to talk about it. But I saw too many things, Lucis, within the topic that I said, wow, this is a lot of little points that we need to go ahead and we need to talk about this stuff. And then I saw this picture of Killmonger and I started thinking, like, a dude like Killmonger wouldn't have put up with what Michael B. Jordan just went through. A man like Killmonger is on his purpose and on his goal. He ain't worried about these women out here thirsting after him. Women see Killmonger and see the version of Michael B. Jordan that's hard and stuff, right? The dude that's all hard and stuff. Who's on his purpose, who's driven, who ain't gonna take no crap out of him. And they thirst after that dude. They think they thirst after Michael B. Jordan, a good man, until they have him. And then they're like, who can I get better? I want one of these rappers. I want one of these hard-ass dudes. Everybody think they want Russell Wilson until they get him, a good man. Then they're like, he's boring. He don't make my inner parts tangle. And he's not good enough. So that's why we had to talk about this, Lucis. Let me get here. First of all, let me give a shout out to Wanda Misamichi. Check out her channel. Check out Wanda's channel. She has a good family channel. Her and her husband are doing a great job raising their boys. If you want to talk about a woman out there that is doing right by her family and taking care of her family, showing you how it's done, giving young men structure. Her and her husband do that. But go check out her channel. Take the journey with Wanda, I promise you. Young ladies, if you're a young lady watching this channel now or in the future, this is the example that you need, not these women you see out in these streets, okay? And I say, let me go back. I said that real low key. Streets, okay? The streets, okay? All right. Oh, snap. Let me give a shout out to my boy, Phil. What's up, bro? What's going on with you? Thank you for coming to the Simsational Gent, hanging out with your boy, where we talk about these type of topics, so much more. Chat, do me a favor. If y'all haven't done this yet, please go ahead and do me a favor. Hit that like button so more people can be notified that we are live right now and we can get more people involved with this chat tonight. Because I have some things to say it. If you don't know, again, I am Sean C., your host and retired chief, and we're going to get at it today, okay? We're going to get at it today. All right, what else? Wanda says, it's not necessarily that men are doing everything wrong. Women just can't be pleased. Their priorities are mixed up. They have a list of demands, but normally end up with a man doing a jail sentence. Yeah, matter of fact, let me leave that on the screen so I can keep my idea. Wanda, you're talking about, you bring up really good points. The first is, it's not that men are doing anything wrong. And let me say this. If you are a man working on yourself and your purpose, if you are a woman that is working on yourself to be a better woman, I'm for you. Don't get it twisted about this channel. Yes, there's predominantly men that are subscribed to this channel, but I am for you, ladies. I am for you, men. If you're going out there and busting your tail at a 9 to 5 every day, I am your advocate. So if you're doing what you're supposed to do, don't get down on yourself. If you are a Michael B. Jordan, or if you are a Russell Wilson, even minus the money, but you out there hustling and doing what you're supposed to be doing, do not be down on yourself. Continue to put in that work. Because like Wanda say, women nowadays, modern women nowadays, have their priorities mixed up. Listen, just pay attention to the things that they're saying. And the things that they're saying is, think about it, just listen and tell me if I'm wrong. But everything is about what they can get. Oh, I got this new thing. Even when women are on the videos talking about, oh, I'm working on myself. Notice that when they're working on themselves, what they got. They're showing you themselves in luxury and eating in fine restaurants and this, that, and the third. And they're telling you that is you working on yourself. Look at me, I'm in a tank top tonight. I'm sweaty, right? It's hot as hell here. I actually am living in another country, but I'm living a very simple life. Because what I've learned from the multiple times that I almost got out this place is that life is not about the things. It's about the experiences, the good people you come across. It's not about the things. It's not about what you own and what you possess. Money is just a tool. But if you talk to modern women these days, the same ones that Wanda is talking about here, about them not being pleased and about their priorities being mixed up. Everything is about money. Everything is about, I need a man that's going to get 6 figures. The life that they want requires money. Yet, what they bring to the table doesn't make a man better. I never hear these modern women talking about, you hear them talking about, oh, I want a partner. But at the same time, they're talking about spending money. Now, if you read, I'm going to go really off tangent real quick, but if you read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, if you read The Richest Man in Babylon, if you read these books, I have. If you read these books about building wealth, what you start realizing is the first principles in these wealth building books tells you about how to not spend everything you got. How you take and you pay yourself off top. That ain't money for you to go out every weekend. That ain't money for you to go buy yourself Prada or Gucci or any of that stuff. You take that money, you pay yourself, and you live off of less. And every time you make more and more money, you don't adjust and start living a higher life. You live the exact same life and you start stacking more cash. But modern women don't talk about that. I don't hear that coming out of none of their damn mouth. All about what they're wearing, what they have, who they know. You ain't as good as me. That's what we hear nowadays. And that's why, men, you should be like Killmonger and not Michael B. Jordan. Be that dude that's on your purpose. Killmonger was not deterred until he got what he wanted. You guys are going to learn. You put your priority in these women who don't put their priority in building wealth and building family, and you're going to get what you deserve. You're going to get it. And I know, I've been there. You know, you try to be with somebody, you think you're helping them, you think you're making them a better person. You think by giving them and yourself a life that they would be able to appreciate it and help you get there. And what I found is they're the quickest ones to spend it. They're the quickest ones to steal food out of the mouth of your family, and they don't even realize they're doing it. Michael B. Jordan would have married Lori Harvey, and what would have happened? What would have happened? She would eventually leave him and take half of his crap. I guarantee it. Michael B. Jordan would be just like Russell Wilson. He tried to be a good husband and a good dad. And women like Lori Harvey, modern women today, the ones that don't have that priority straight, just like Wanda said here in this, they don't care about that. What can you do for me now? How do you make me feel right now? How do you make me feel? Why is this not exciting anymore? Tonight's drink, vodka, cranberry and grape, and I topped it off with more cranberry. So, very simple drink, nothing special. Let me know in the chat what y'all sipping on tonight. If you're new to the channel, I don't drink all the time, but when I do, I want to know what you're sipping on, okay? So right now, I have some watered down drink. Probably shouldn't have made a drink tonight. I just left the gym. So Lucy said, I'm sipping on some wine tonight. Okay, bro, you sipping on that V? Hell, yeah, you know what? You know what, Lucy's actually wine is really cheap here. My vodka is really cheap too. And I don't buy no expensive vodka. I don't need that. After about one, I can't even taste the difference anyway. And I got this one, the price keeps fluctuating, but it goes from 89 pesos to 109 pesos, which regardless, right? 89 pesos is ridiculous. You're talking like $4.50, you guys. $4.50, right? For a fifth of vodka. Crazy. So, right? Captain and Coke, which normally costs $14, $15 in the States. You know how much it costs here? About $7.50, $8. Yeah, it's cheap. So, except everything tastes weird here because they don't do that sugar stuff. Y'all wonder why we are unfit and stuff in the States? It's because all the sugar, right? They pump sugar and fats and everything into it and stuff like that. So listen, I'm gonna finish up this part of the topic. If you guys want to come on to the show and discuss this further, I put a link at the top of the description, right? I'll drop another link in the chat. You guys want to come up? There we go. I just dropped another link in the chat if you want to come on and discuss this. And what I want to know from you guys, right? If you come up on the chat, what I want to know from you guys is, do you agree? Men should be more like Killmonger. If you're just joining me, I'm going to just real quick synopsis on what I meant by that. Michael B. Jordan, you don't hear anything from him. You don't hear any trouble about this dude. He is a high value actor and star. By all accounts, you know, yeah, he's dated some people, but he's a single dude. He can do what he wants to. By all measures, Michael B. Jordan is a good dude who's grinding. But Killmonger, this dude, MIT grad, engineer, military man, very precise. He has a plan and a purpose, and he does not deviate from that plan or purpose. He isn't worried about what woman is on his arm, because what he's trying to do is complete the mission. What's your mission? Gents, what's your mission? What do you want for yourself, or what do you want for your family? Is it about having a big house, a nice place to stay? Is it about that car you drive? It's about the clothes you wear. It's about the people that you see on a daily basis. What do you really care about? You tell me what you care about, and I'll tell you about who you really are. Because if you care just about things, I already know who you are. Now, am I saying it's wrong to have good things, a nice house for your family, nice car to drive around in? No, I'm not. It's not my thing. It doesn't mean it has to be your thing. But if that's all you care about, you get what you deserve. You're going to be locked into this system. And that's why the men like Michael B. Jordan starting to lose out. Why Michael B. Jordan gets ridiculed, because he got rejected from a marriage proposal, and you have women cheering that on. Isn't that what you want, ladies? I thought y'all wanted a dude like Michael B. Jordan. Y'all thirst after him when he got his goddamn shirt off. Nah, what y'all want is the Killmonger, the thug, the one who would do anything to get it done. You want the banker, who's also the thug. Does that make sense? You think them people playing about their money? You think they're gonna hire a thug that's a banker? Why would you put a fox in the hen house? That makes sense? A dude that's gonna take the opportunity to apply and be accepted by a bank, you think he got time to be a thug? And if you are a thug that's playing that game, what's your end goal? You gonna rob a bank? Really? You gonna get a good bank job where you can move up? And you're gonna compromise it by being a thug? And I know we know people that have done that. Had a good thing going on, they're still trying to do the thing on the side. A lot of your favorite rappers, young people, they ain't hard. They talk that hard stuff. They're about their business now. The good ones are. The ones still trying to go home and be there about their friends, with their friends, them the ones end up chalk around. The ones who say, you know what, I'm gonna get into acting. I'm gonna get into doing this. I'm gonna get into business. Shout out to Snuggles. I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on there, man? What's going on? Good to see you tonight. Thank you for being here. Y'all smash that like button. Smash that like button. If you're gonna come on, there's a link down in the description if you want to come on and discuss this tonight. But again, remember the rules. Make sure that you're being respectful, right? Make sure you have something to come to talk about that's gonna benefit and edify the gents here on this channel, right? Because we're about getting better. We're about self-improvement here. We're about being on our purpose. So let me know what y'all think. Now, bring up men like Michael B. Jordan who get played. Women want to know, like, why dudes who seemingly got it going on? Why does the high value man exercise all of his options? I don't know if Kevin Samuels talked about it, but with all the hundreds of shows he did, I know he's talked about it. But ladies, when you go ahead and crush a good man's heart, you create the monster that breaks your heart. When you crush a good man's heart, you create the monster that will crush your heart later. Now, I got this clip that I've been waiting to use. I was going to use it on a video, but I would love to use it here tonight on a live stream. Lucis, I'll be right with you in a second. We're going to get into this. But I'm going to bring up this video real quick. So bear with me. I'm going to play it, and we'll talk about it on the other side, all right? Y'all bear with me real quick. I'll make sure all the sound and everything good. Let me know, put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear it or not. If not, I'll start it over. Gents, let me make sure there's no echo or none of that stuff. You guys see that video before? Have you guys seen that movie before? I haven't seen the full movie, but that clip, that there, I call it How to Be a Player. How to Be a Player. He's not wrong. We've all gotten rocked and played, and some of us got played multiple times, and we still went back in because we weren't willing to compromise the men that we were for one woman that was going to break our hearts. Some of us weren't willing to compromise who we were for 2 women that broke our hearts. And some of us keep putting our hand on the hot stove over and over again. And dudes, now, even myself, will call dudes like that simps because they keep going back over and over again. At some point, you gotta say to yourself, am I gonna continue to fall for the same stuff? And gents, with these modern women today, there's no reason to keep falling for it over and over again. Am I saying there's no good women? Not saying that at all. What I'm trying to tell you is, you're not gonna fall for the okie doke again. You're not gonna fall for the okie doke again. If you get tired of getting played, you will get tired of getting played. So let's get back to Michael B. Jordan. Men like Michael B. Jordan, if you see him with multiple women here in the future, you know what? They're gonna criticize him. They're gonna ridicule him. They're gonna say to him, they're gonna say, hey, look at him. He's a player now. Why he gotta be with all these women? Look at Leonardo DiCaprio. People criticize him, but guess what? He's not going to get his heart rocked again by these women. Can you blame him? Can you blame him? Especially when the only thing that modern women say that they bring to the table is their companionship. You know what? Keep that shit. Keep it to yourself. All right, I'm about to bring up my boy Lucis here. We're about to have a discussion on this. Lucis, you ready, brother? About to bring you up. Give me a second. Got to get everything all set up. Gonna add. Hold up. Oh, let me remove this. My bad. There we go. There we go. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm good, man. I went to the gym, got my little workout on. I looked at my time. I said, man, I got a live stream to do. And I was like, I ain't even got time to jump in the showers. Let me get in here. I'm sweaty. I'm worked out. I'm talking about Killmonger. I had to come with my best workout look.
Right. Priorities. It's your show. You got to do the show.
Bro, I've been retired for 4 years. I've been in the gym 4 years.
Okay.
4 years, baby. So what's going on with you? So what you think about the topic? Do you believe that men should be more like Killmonger than Michael B. Jordan, and why?
Men have to be on a purpose. It's the biggest attraction for whatever they want in life. It has to start with the purpose. If you put the woman before the purpose, you are gonna fail at life. It's just math, you know. Following a woman is subtracting from your life if you haven't already set up your purpose. If you set up your purpose and you vet a woman correctly, then she adds to your life. And then if she has children, that means she multiplies your legacy. So everything has an order, you know, and as what's her name? Iyanla Van Zant, the one that said women are out of order. She's right, because we're doing a lot of things out of order, and it's just not women, it's men too. So you know, I when Michael B. Jordan first started dating Lori Harvey, there was this ruckus celebration from Black women. And the thing was that they wasn't necessarily celebrating Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan. They were celebrating the fact that Michael B. Jordan was back dating Black women, because Michael B. Jordan had started dating like European women. And with what's happened, I think he made a bad decision. I think he needed to stay where he was appreciated, because truth is, Lori Harvey took him for a ride. She wasn't interested in him long term. She was just one notch. Let's really call a spade a spade. Lori Harvey out here being a dude. She just getting notches on her belt. She's not in it for the long term. And her answer to the world was, hey, I still want to have fun. Well, that means that's a woman that's not ready for the next step in her life. And I'm not disparaging her for that. If she answered the question correctly, hey, Michael B. Jordan is like, I want to be married. And Michael B. Jordan is operating like you said Kevin Samuels, he's operating like a high value man would operate. He wants a young woman to bear his children, to start his family with. He just picked the wrong young woman.
She put a streets.
Most definitely. I mean, let's understand. Any woman that dates Future is for the streets. Any woman that dates Future is for the streets, because Future is not serious about any woman. It's not that Future not bad. You know what you're getting with Future. You know what you get with Future? No future. That's what you get. His name is literally the joke. That's the joke. The joke is in his name, Future. It literally means any woman that deals with Future has no future. And that's what we're seeing. Every woman he's been with, every celebrity woman he's ever been with, look at them now. It's just what they are. They're for the streets, because you're looking at it for fun only. Here, Michael B. Jordan literally was trying to make her an honest woman, in terms of, hey, let's go to the next level. Which is difficult to me, because she has had a roster of famous people in her sexual marketplace. She's had a
Future, P. Diddy, a number of dudes. Oh yes.
She's had. I'm a Manchester United fan, and she dated 2 Manchester United players back in the day. So, one of them even met Steve Harvey because he was serious about her. But then he, just like Michael B. Jordan, he realized she wasn't serious and he dumped her. His name was Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay from the Netherlands. He wanted to make Lori something serious, and she was partying too much, and he was like, nah, I'm good. And so he dumped her. And so, you got to think about it. That Michael B. Jordan is the second man to meet Steve Harvey that wanted to take Steve's stepdaughter serious. And once again, Steve is being embarrassed by his daughter, because this is the man that had been giving out all of this advice to women. Now, a lot of us men didn't agree with the advice he was giving women, but he was telling women all of this stuff about, basically the stuff that was tickling their ears. You deserve a man to do this, and you deserve a man, and blah, blah, blah. And then his own, daughter, stepdaughter by marriage, is basically like, nah, I don't listen to that guy.
Listen, I'm not, that's funny, but I'm not going to disparage Steve Harvey on this. I think I used to. I'm not saying, be clear about something. I agree with you when you said Steve Harvey, some of the stuff he said, you're like, bro, you pandering a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's an issue, because I have my own issue with my own daughters. And it wasn't like I know with me being in the military, I was here and I was there. But if I passed away today, they have all the knowledge they need that I passed on to them. I tell them that all the time. And they say they know. So my mom, I have a young sister. My mom had my sister when she was older, right? Much older, right? And she's having issues with my sister. And when I talk to more people that have their kids, they're all going through the same thing. So I don't know if it's just the way this generation was raised, that they feel they know more than the other people, the reverence that this generation has. Also, something that I think that you were kind of alluding to, she wanted to have fun. She wants to party. It's like modern women nowadays want to have their cake and eat it too. Wait till they get into their 30s and mid-30s. And then now, why aren't men serious? Why don't men want to settle down? So it's like putting the cart before the horse right now, realizing that the prime market is right now.
Yeah. I think it's taught for women to think that they can have their cake and eat it too. And I don't think a lot of people even understand what that statement means. to have your cake and eat it too. You can only do one of those things at a time. Either you can have your cake, sit there and look at it, or you're going to eat it. Because if you eat it, then you're not going to have it anymore. So you literally, everything you do in life is a choice. Like you said, your daughters know something. They know what they need to do. They know what dad told them about the world and about men. They know. And see, this is why men are going their own way. That's why MGTOW is so popular amongst men. Whether you say it's men going their own way or men guarding their own wallets. Either way, how you use that acronym doesn't matter. The point is that men are wise enough and starting to really know women are making these decisions. You can't feel sorry. You can't be empathetic. You most definitely can't be sympathetic to women who are cognizantly making decisions about their life and they're not being smart because women are making decisions based on the short term rather than the long term. I guarantee you, if more women start looking at their lives based on what do I want in my life by the time I'm 50? What am my life going to look like at 60? What do I want my life to look like at 70? They would make different decisions because picking the fun guy in your 20s, giving him all the good stuff, you give him the best sex because you're young, you're youthful, your everything about you is tender. That's why the song, what's the song back in the day? Tenderoni.
Tenderoni. You find a tenderoni.
Exactly. You and these women are in their tenderoni years, just like Lori Harvey. She's in her tenderoni years. This the best time to latch on to a man for your future. But at the end of the day, that's not happening because we want, well, not we as men, but women, they want that fun. Because they, especially Black women, have been taught your 20s are the extension of your teenage years. Have your fun, then pick your head up at 30 because they're doing it like clockwork. So you can't say that this is not something that's taught and embedded. They are picking their heads up at 29 and then they're going into the wall and they're going, where's the guy? And they're not understanding that men don't want the party girl. That's not, that's.
Let me get to Wanda's comment, and then I want to know what you think about it on the other side. Let's see what she just said. She said women start to feel eager to settle down late 30s, early 40s because every year there is a nice-looking young girl entering adulthood and taking the older men. Ooh, damn, Wanda, how you gonna just come with elbows, man? So therefore, their options are slimmer. But you know what? Wanda, you said that the options are slimmer. Everything you just said was facts, right? Like those were facts. But for some reason, is it just me? And y'all can let me know. Wanda in the chat, Lucy's let me know. But modern women don't think that the options are going to run out. They don't see the options running out. They don't, when they're younger, they don't see that, hey, if I don't start taking advantage of the best opportunities now, that as you get older, it gets harder. It gets harder for men too. Don't get me wrong. Like you could be a man that's older and still pull some stuff, but I can tell you that I can still pull some stuff. I still can do it. I'm gonna tell you though that it's not at the frequency that it was. It's just different. Does that make sense? Even for being a man. I know we talk about being men and like, okay, men start aging like wine and stuff like that. But even as you get older, just the way you move is different. You ain't trying to holler and shoot at everything. So you have options, but if you're not moving the same way as you did when you was young, it's just, you know what I mean? You have options, but you don't. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about that?
Well, men, the thing about the reason men or the term, age like wine or this and that and the other, is not necessarily built on the man necessarily. It's built on his resources. Because he has
Absolutely.
resources, that's why a man can always have options. Is because as he gets older, he has resources. And if you're a man, are you going to use your resource on a woman your age that has gone through trauma, bad relationships? She got kids. She got grown kids that don't act right. She got young kids. She got babies and things of that nature. Or are you going to just go for somebody younger that you just want to really spend some time with before you kick off, right? The thing that I see that's happening really with women, I agree with Wanda saying, because that's exactly what we're dealing with right now. Right now in the United States, we're dealing with the largest population of single women that we've ever had historically. So when you think about that, what's happening is the reason we're having this problem is because women have disregarded being traditional. Prior to third wave feminism, women got married in their early to mid 20s and got off the market. But what we have now is we do have a deregulated sexual marketplace for dating. And because of that, what we have is we no longer have women who moved into being a wife, then moved into being a mother and decided to be a mother, do her motherly job, do her wife job, then move into being a grandmother. We don't have that anymore. What we have is we have women who are non-traditional. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to nurture their own children. Everything about them is a consumer market. They're going to have a babysitter. They're going to have a nanny. They're going to buy food, go out to restaurants and things of that nature. Then the husband is always only going to be a resource. They're not even interested in loving their husband or providing for the husband's needs at all, because they're not even considering them. So what you end up with is you got daughters out here who want to have fun. You got their mothers out here basically thinking they have an unsupply of opportunities for some guy. And then you have grandmothers out here. Look at the group of 50-year-old women who are out here still at the clubs with their daughters and granddaughters. We got 3 generations of women chasing the same group of men. And that's really what's hurting everything overall, is you got 3 generations of women chasing the same guys. And the problem is that the older women are supposed to get out the way, and technically that's what you're starting to see in the Asian communities, not Asian community, really in Asia. That's what you're starting to see with the leftover women, the women 27 and up that didn't get married. And what are they doing? They're getting pushed to the side. And it's because, and they're starting to see the same thing in China. China is starting to see the same thing we have here.
You saw a documentary, Leftover Women, right?
Yeah. But what did you see in there? As the women got educated, they stopped thinking the men that they would have married prior to getting a degree, they don't want that man anymore. And so even China is suffering from the same thing. And they're starting to really push women into saying, hey, we can't afford you to be a single woman in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. You got to get off the market. Government assistance is not going to be there for you. You have to have a husband. Y'all got to figure it out and find your way. And the thing is that that's the problem we're going to have here in America. I mean, we already have the problem, but it's just getting exasperated because why? The population of women, the 80-20 rule, where you got 80% of the female population chasing 20% of men, dudes, and that 80% is growing, while the 20% of men is not. See, because not everybody wants to be the CEO, the manager. We've disregarded the regular guy. The regular guy has always been a sustainable part of the economy. He's been the stable part of communities because
they pay the most in taxes.
You got to know who the school teachers are, who the coaches are, who are all the support men in the community are. Those guys are 9 to 5 guys. Those guys are shift workers. When you start getting vetted into a business where you become a manager, an ops manager, you start moving up, you're not the coach. You're not the teacher. You're not a support member of society because you're moving into a point where you employ people. And we all know as men, as you move up the ladder, your life gets stressful. You go from working a 40-hour week to 50, 60-hour week to a 70-hour week. As you move up, because we have this fantasy where we think CEOs kick their feet up and go golf all the time. Being a CEO, you work 365 because you're responsible to shareholders, stakeholders, the board, let alone the product. Go ahead.
No, I'm about to say, I'm doing a video on that. And I don't know the title quite yet, but this will tell you, women want a high value man, but they're not ready for a high value man because a high value man, he's gone. He's not home. This dude is working. But let me get to this T-Mac, man, thank you for being here, bro. I was wondering where you was at. I ain't seen you in a minute. T-Mac up in the house, bro. Lucis, T-Mac up in the house, right? So T-Mac says, yep, just like the woman who passed on that nuclear physicist, they're only hurting themselves. Let me tell you something about this. I felt this one. Let me tell you why. A lot of y'all don't know, but in the Navy, I did nuclear engineering. So when I saw this damn exact post, I was like, I felt for this dude. Mm-hmm. And the difference is, I think my personality is a little bit more outgoing than what that dude's was, but she never asked that dude, hey, what do you like to do for fun? She was like, pineapples. She never asked him. You noticed that, right? She never asked that dude. She was just like, she basically asked an open-ended question. He tried to lead with what most women today say, well, what you bringing to the table? When women ask what you bring to the table, it's like, okay, are you financially stable? Can you do this, that, and the third? That dude led with that. She could have done a follow-up question and said, hey, what do you like to do for fun? Now, if he would have said some stupid stuff, or, oh, well, I don't really get to go out much. Pineapples, I would have understood that. She never gave that dude a chance. So you're right, T-Mac, is exactly like that. T-Mac has another comment. He says, reality hasn't set in here in the West. No guy want a car with a lot of miles either. Ooh. So we do know that, right? Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to the Godfather, shout out. And rest in peace to the Godfather. But he said, tell me something that depreciates, right? That gains in value over time or usage. And I was like, and I sat there, Lucis, I sat there and thought about this. I'm talking about like, I gave it probably a good hour of thinking about that. I'm like, man, what the hell? That gains in time and usage and gets more valuable. And I'm like, I couldn't think of a thing. Did you think anything?
Actually, it's not going to be the popular answer for with regards to society, but there is an answer. There is.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying it's an exception every rule.
Appreciates with time and usage. It's a man. A man that really, because like I say, if you get on your purpose and you get what you're gonna do is you're gonna be gaining resources, and that's one of the things is if you get your resources together,
I'm feeling that.
Because the thing is that one of the functional differences between how men and women consume is how men and women treat money, and usually, if a man takes on a family and he takes on really wanting his legacy, what happens is his efforts are going for the legacy of his family. The thing is a lot of times with women in consumerism, what is the common trope? My money is my money and his money is my money. And what's
mine is yours and what's yours is mine.
Right. And it's
what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine.
Right. That's what they're saying. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. And that's becoming more evident now that Kevin Samuels, who's passed on, a lot of people thought what he was about was going to disappear, but really what his passing has done is open Pandora's box, because we have way more women via social media telling men, you ain't nothing. I mean, you got women out there saying if a man makes $500,000, he's a bum.
Yeah.
$500,000, he's a bum. Like,
I did an episode about that where the woman was talking to a doctor. They hit hard times because of the pandemic. He went from making $750,000 down to like $250,000. And she was like, I might have to start searching other options. Because, he's taking this pro bono type stuff at $250,000 because she couldn't get the $100,000 a month allowance that she was getting.
No, there's something she said in there that was more ruthless. Remember, she said, I'm gonna start checking on the other men in his practice that are still doing something. Yeah, so there's more to it. She was really saying, I'm gonna go after the other men that I saw that was on his level before he hit hard time. And we're talking hard times. The dude was making $250,000 a year. That's hard times. That is, but as ludicrous as that is, that's what we're starting to see being littered all across the internet. And it's getting kind of where, how do you come back from that? Like, we know men are simple creatures. We're simple creatures by nature. It doesn't.
That's tomorrow's video.
Oh, okay. I don't know about tomorrow's video. But there's only so much hate you can push forward on men. Men are trash. All men are trash. Toxic masculinity.
Oh my God.
There's not enough men not enough millionaire men to satisfy all of these women who have leveled up. And so when you present all of this, it gets to the point where you have to start asking the question is, what are women going to gain from constantly being negative towards men? Because my simple solution is, if you talk negative about something, you're not going to get it. It's the bees and honey, bees and vinegar analogy. You get more bees with honey than you do vinegar. You're not going to get what you want by tearing down men in general and only wanting to praise the men at the top, because there's more men that are average than there are men at the top. And that's how that operates with everything. Whether you're talking beauty, whether you're talking ugly, there are more people that are average than there are beautiful and ugly. That's how it goes. There's more average earning men than there are broke men and rich men. So if you can't operate, function, cooperate with an average guy, where do you go? Because most women, you're not going to get a top guy. You're just not. It's just the math ain't math. And as Kevin said, that was funny to me when he brought that up one time. The math ain't mathing.
But you know what? I think the math does math, because we know equations need to balance itself. Life is about balance. And I think where we're seeing is, so instead of them, I can't get the top value, the high earning, high value man. What I think we're seeing is the settling. And who they settling for? Not those dudes you talked about, not the men in the middle. It's the Pookies and the Ray Rays, you know what I mean?
Good point.
You know what I mean? So the equation is balancing itself, and we see it every day. Let me get to these comments real quick. T-Mac says she even mentioned on another channel that she wanted a doctor that she could go to the strip club with. So I think, T-Mac, you're talking about the woman that was on with the nuclear physicists and stuff like that. And this is something else that you see. We'll get on to the other side of the comments real quick. But where it's like, this is fun. I want to have more fun, right? What we talked about earlier. And then T-Mac says it's illegal for a woman to be called average. The sisterhood lies to these women every day. I think it's more than just the sisterhood, man. I think that we have, when you start getting into the third, this generation of feminists with an F, and then you start talking about capitalism, right? We're in late stage capitalism right now. And so when you have everything which is, okay, I don't need a man to do this, buy, and you're starting to see that the modern woman is basically a consumer ball, which we've talked about and you've talked about too, where the consumerism of it, right? And I talked about earlier, right? If you go back and watch the replay, everything that you hear from modern women nowadays is about, oh, I want to build, I want a partnership. But when they say that, they're not talking about, I'm going to step back. We're gonna retreat. If you like doing the things that's in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon, where we're gonna pay ourselves first, live a meager life, build up our wealth, and then now we're leaving generational wealth behind to our families. You don't hear that from not one of these modern women. Oh, I want a partnership so I can spend his money, spend my money, and it's consumerism. It's like buying a little consumer net. You know what I mean? But what do you got to say to respond to what T-Mac said there, Rufus?
Well, which one? Which one of the questions?
Let's start with that she wanted to do.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something.
You can keep that one brief. We're gonna get to the other one.
The thing that I don't think women really understand is you don't bring sand to the beach. Okay, women that I find that's interested in hanging out with their husband at a strip club and all of that kind of stuff, you're really inviting things that you're not ready for, because we understand something. I'm gonna tell you something. This is an old time joke that we've always seen. Usually in the sex of a relationship, right? Men get a lot more sex in a relationship when they date. And then when they get married, it slows down. And
well, hold on, real quick. Let me stop you. I read an article here on this channel on a previous live stream. Y'all check that out. But on it, I talked about, there was an article, there was 2 different studies that talked about once you get married, right? Mm-hmm. X declines for the woman. The desire for the man stays about the same, because most men say, you know what, I like where it's at, I like where we're at, I want it to stay at this level. If we stay at this level, I'm good. I ain't got to go with no other women below. Most men that really are serious about their marriage. For women, though, as soon as they get that ring, I think it was like 60 or 70% of them, it declines for them.
Yes.
For some reason, it dries up a little bit, it stops. And this is 2 independent scientific studies that show that. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I meant to cut you off, but I want to put it out.
The thing about that is it's about the hunt. Women are built to nest, functionally speaking. They nest, right? Once they nest, or in human terms, once they get married, usually the attraction to the man goes down. Thusly, being emotional, the things that keep them hot and bothered is no longer there. One of the things that we've seen over and over again that's happened is women like excitement. They like the man of excitement. When you're dating a guy, she's more interested in what's going on with him, because when you're dating, you're single. Until you're married, you're single. I don't even care if you got a fiance. If you ain't married, you're still single. So during the whole single aspect, there's that game that's getting played on, basically like how into him is she, or how into her is he. And they love playing that game. That's why they talk to their girlfriends about you. That's why they go through this whole thing. And it's a nice little cat and mouse game. But things do get serious. That's why you hear about duty sex, right? There is a duty in your marriage to have sex. But see, what happens is we've romanticized sex so much that you get women that I only want to have sex when I'm in the mood. Well,
Right.
functionally speaking, men don't need to be in the mood. That's not how we work. That's not how we wired. Men can have sex anytime. We don't need to be put in the mood. You just got to say, hey, you can get some.
I'm
And
ready
men,
to go.
so and what happens is that's why you get the little song and dance. But I think one of the real things that if women understood how men are wired for sex, you don't want to bring your man to a spot that is sexually oriented and you're not satisfying that aspect of his urges in your private life. Because I think what you're doing is you're just dangling the steak in front of the lion's mouth. And eventually things are going to happen. Anybody that's been married knows there's ups and downs. And what you don't want to introduce to a man is when things are down, he's looking to the right, left, and he's like, man, I'm just not satisfied. Because what is the major difference between men and women? Men can operate in resentment. Women cannot. There's men who are married, they resent who they are, who they're married to, and they're only there to fulfill the duty of being a husband. They don't love their wife no more. They're just functionally just going through the habits, right? Women can't do that. Once a woman checks out, she's checked out. That's why they talk about being with a scorned woman. She's getting out of there. And that's why I believe even with the divorce rate being as high as it is, but with women initiating divorce at an 80+% rate, I know that's because they can't operate on duty. Men can operate on duty. That's why the military and police and fire department are male dominated because they're duty driven. Anything that's duty driven, you're going to have men leading that. But
I think that women used to be duty bound. Now I realize that's partly because divorce wasn't popular back in the day, so they would sit there and duty bound. I think that as things have changed and women feel like they can get out of it, and there's no recourse, there's no societal, oh, I gotta wear my scarlet letter. I think you're seeing more of it where women are like, okay, I can just leave, it's not a big deal, and it benefits them through the court system more.
Right.
But what I'm saying is there are women that will stick it out. I think that you still see some women sticking it out. And I'm going to say the one example that I disagree. I think when you talk about with kids, though, some women will be duty bound for the kids.
We're talking modern women. We're not talking other women, because if you go to third world countries and you go other places, those women are still duty bound. They still
No. You're right.
We're talking, but your caveat is modern women. And
yes, absolutely.
Women that, especially in America, any woman born in the late 50s, moving up, you're part of third, fourth wave feminism. You've been told you have options. You've been told you ain't got to put up with a man that's controlling. And the funny thing is that when you start breaking down saying that a man is controlling, and you ask, well, what's controlling? It really comes down to his preferences, because we don't call it controlling when the woman has the preference for certain things she expects or wants out of her marriage. It's just these are her standards for the marriage. But usually when a man starts saying certain things that he wants out of the marriage, that's too controlling. What do you mean? What do you mean I can't just hang out with my guy friends? What do you mean I just can't go hang out with my single friends and go to Jamaica, as a married woman with my single friends? Let me go to a place that has hedonism 1 and 2 and all of these, what do you mean I can't do that? What do you mean? It becomes comical, but these are real life conversations that's happening, and we're saying, oh, that's controlling. Oh, this
T-Mac, She might say facts, no lie, man.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say the observable things that we really have become so loose in what we're saying that if any time as with men we say, hey, I don't think it's that here's it. You know the thing they say, can men and women really be friends? And my question is, if you as a woman, you got to define friend, because a lot of things that we say, and when I ask that question, I'm talking about this is a woman that's married. You know, we're not talking about single women. We're talking about you're married. And I find it interesting, like if you talk about, well, what would you need to talk to your male friend about
That you
as a
can't
man
talk to
that
your
you
dude.
probably should be talking to your husband about, right? And I
Who's
find
supposed to be your friend?
supposed to be somebody of real. Well, actually, technically, I'm gonna be real brutal with this. Your husband and your wife, y'all can't really be friends because we got a hierarchy here. If I'm your husband, I'm higher than your friend. Hold on, I need that buffer there. I need to be treated better than it, because I should be treating you better than I treat my friends. Because
I agree with that, but I kind of slightly disagree. When one of my good buddies, him and I pretty much came up, we've been knowing each other since we were like nothings in the military. And then we had been, our total time together was 11 years straight, different commands. It's unheard of to be with the same person for 11 years. He made chief before I made chief. Now he's at another rank higher. We're friends, but now I gotta kind of, hey, you're a chief. You know, I gotta respect you as being that higher authority. Yes, that's still my friend, but I realized positionally by rank, I have to give deference to my boy, and I did. So no one saw favoritism and could sit there and say that there's a goddamn term, fraternization between me and him, because now he's in the middle management. Now that changed because I made chief the next year afterwards. But when he was a chief and I wasn't, hey, that you never saw any type of favoritism. So I agree with you. And not everybody knows how to, hey, I could be your friend, but I also give deference to the fact that you're at a higher position, or you're the leader, right? You're leading this thing, right? And so I think that's kind of what's good about the military structure, because we understand, and not just military structure, men understand. And then Kevin Samuel said this too. There's a hierarchy that makes things run a little bit smoother.
But see that, but once again, that would be doing things more in a traditional sense.
Would you just call me old? Did you just call me old?
No, what I'm saying is it's not about your age, because like I said, there are places on this planet that tradition is still strong and you're not having these problems. What we've done is we've deregulated rules. We've made it where everybody, hey, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. And if anybody says anything, be the rebel, be the force of change. And you don't, and I think overall, people don't understand what being the force of change is, because everything doesn't need to be changed. But when you give everybody participation trophies and you raise people in participation trophies, people start having a false sense of my opinion matters. No, you have an opinion. Now, when it matters is when we could collectively come around your opinion and we can do devil's advocate as well as pro and figure this out. But just because I have an opinion, you have an opinion, T-Mac, Mitsubishi, doesn't necessarily make that opinion valid unless other people can, support it. And the thing is that we've gotten to the point where people have gotten entitled, and we're starting to see, not really starting, we're starting, really what we're doing is we're starting to point the finger at it now. We're starting to point the finger at so much of the entitlement that has taken over in any first world country that's dealing with westernized philosophy, we're starting to see how much entitlement has really become a problem, because that's exactly where we're at right now, where if I say all women are trash, oh, it's cancel time, it's, hey, I gotta destroy you. But women can say all men are trash. And then we start going back and forth on, well, if you can say it, then why can't I say it? Then we get to this tit for tat, and we really start losing respect. And once we start losing respect, we start having what we're seeing now, which is just a deregulated marketplace where you got women who got so many bodies talking about my past don't matter. And it's like, your past most definitely matters, because the past is what made you who you are today. So I used to always laugh at the woman, and I mean that, I don't mean that to be spiteful, but I used to laugh at the comment when I used to hear a woman, she used to be loosey loose, then she starts going to church, and then she becomes the born again virgin. And I'm like, you can't be a born again virgin. You only do virginity is one time. You know, you don't get to do that over and over again. And you'll see that, because like, just like the Kevin Samuels had the woman that was 37 with 2 kids, 2 baby daddies, who said she not, the next man she get with starts dating seriously, she's not gonna have sex with him till she gets married. And Kevin was like, you can't do that. And she was like, why can't I do that? He said, you need to be giving your cat away. What you talking about? He said, how you gonna be a virgin again when you had 2 whole people come out of you? You know, and it was just that banter between him and her that day. One, it was funny, because she even had to laugh. She even laughed. She took it very well. She was a good sport about it.
Yeah.
She understood at the end what he was saying. Like, you can't be no born again virgin after being a baby mama by 2 different dudes, and now you want to be good. It's not gonna work for you.
Why do you? Well, first of all, there was a video recently, and I think it was on Pink Book Lessons, where the woman was on there, and she said the same thing. She was 30, late 30s, never done anything, and she said, and listen, and she wasn't in the best shape or whatever. I'm not gonna, she was an average looking woman, and she is saying that the next man that gets with her has to hold out for marriage. So she's waited all this time until almost 40 years old. And now the dude that has to get with her has to wait till marriage. So kind of to the point that you're saying, is like, how the heck, like, well, she did hold out. But at this point, like, you're out, you're at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make these demands? You know what I mean? So let's bring it back to the subject. Now, tonight I said about Killmonger versus Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Now, what I contend tonight is that let's take out that Killmonger is a bad guy, but we can say that Killmonger is the representation of everything women say they want from a man, right? He's the smart dude, the MIT graduate, he's built, he ain't gonna take your crap, he's on his purpose, right? And he's the bad guy. He's the banker that's also the thug. Right? Should men, with everything we know, everything that's going on, should men aspire more to be the Killmonger or the Michael B. Jordan? Let me just put a plug for Michael B. Michael B. Jordan is an accomplished actor. Mm-hmm. He is well respected in the community. You look at his movies, he can do anything acting wise, right? He can do serious, he can do action, he can do it all, right? He has even little funny quips here and there, despite how serious he can be. He has still the look, and he tried to be the good guy. Mm-hmm. I would even say he's Russell Wilson heavy. Russell Wilson is Michael B. Jordan light. Let's put it that way, right? Right. So, is it wrong for men nowadays, seeing the landscape out here, thinking, what's the point? Why should I even propose? Why should I be the good guy? If you missed it, go watch it again. But I played a video earlier about why good dudes become the players based on this little movie scene. And it was powerful. Yeah. So why should Michael B. Jordan right now not want to be the next Leonardo DiCaprio and just start dating younger women and just be a player, be out there? What do you think? All right. I put a lot out there. I'm sorry. No. I mean, you put a lot out there, but that's good because it gives a context to what the points you're trying to make. I think it really comes down to women should aspire to have both, but they got to be smart enough to understand the difference. If you get a guy like Killmonger, you're not going to get all the nice frilly romanticism things that you want, but what you will get is a provider male that's going to be handling his business. Yes. With Michael B. Jordan, you got an established man who finally got to the point where he's like, yo, I'm ready to start my family. And with that being said, that's where women got to start differentiating what they want. Because Killmonger's the guy that Lori Harvey really wants. He gonna be fun but she's not gonna see him a lot. So every time she see him, it's gonna be fun. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Michael B. Jordan is gonna be the more steady Eddie guy. He's the guy that you're gonna see 5-6 days a week per se, based on his career. So with that, I would say that women need to understand what they want. Now, to go deeper, if you really think about it from Michael B. Jordan's standpoint, I think men really have to start vetting women just as much as women got to vet men. No lies told on that. I'm sorry? I said no lies told. On this channel, that's the part of working on your purpose and working on yourself, because you start vetting that. When you don't want your time wasted, right? You're not going to just let anybody up in you. Right. That was exactly the next point I was going to make, is the thing, there's literally, time is the only thing on this planet you cannot get back. It is the most valuable thing. It is. More valuable than money, anything. If you don't have time, you don't have anything. Right. Because, I mean, think about it. I mean, the reason it's more valuable than time is, I mean, more valuable than money is because most of us trade our time for money. So with that being said, you have to start going that, what was it? A couple of weeks ago, we talked about this. I said, men got to start being serious. That's the thing. The reason Michael B. Jordan is a little heartbroken is because he realized, and you can't tell me that he didn't have an inkling of thought that this might not work out. Oh, he thought he could change her. I think he was going with the hope, right? I think he did what a lot of women do when they date Chad and Tyrone's. They be like, I'm going to change this man. I'm going to change it. Yes. I think he thought Lori Harvey really was smart enough to see what was in front of her. The guy that's in the top 20% of what women want: 6 foot, 6 packs, six-figure salary, ambitious, has a career. You know, he has all the things all 80% of the women want. And so when you break that down, I think he believed, based on, and I'm only basing this on the results. I don't know anything much about anything else. I'm just basing this on the result, because when a man gets to the point that he's proposing to you, he's saying, I'm ready. You know, you didn't drag him to it. You didn't have to ask this man, what are we? When are we gonna go? When are we gonna go downtown? Whatever, you know.
when a man
I
proposes,
like to say, hold on, give me 1 second. I like to say that when a man is ready, and this is what I say the average is, that man is saying where we're at right now, I am okay where we're at. I can see a little bit ahead with you. I can see what we can be.
mm-hmm.
But where we're at, I am so comfortable where we're at. I don't want to, you're it. I want this now. I'm good with this. And what do you think about that?
But that's our job. The man is the one that takes the woman off the market. That's our job. We're supposed to be vetting the situation, and we pick the person that we want to be with. Go ahead.
You know, I got to read this. Mr. Jackson, thank you for being here tonight, my man. He said, right, he was thinking, settle down for me. Wrong. Right. The call of the wild was too strong. And you talked about that earlier, Lucy.
Yeah. She literally said, thanks, but no thanks. I want to continue my fun. That's what she said. And I don't, like I said, I don't begrudge her. I don't even understand why people are even tripping. The woman did the honest thing. She could have took that dude for the ropes. She could have really took him. She didn't. She said, hey, Mike, she did him like this. Hey, big dog.
Wait, the bro pat, the friend pat?
Yeah, she gave him the friend pat. And she said, keep it pushing. She said, keep it pushing. She said, I'm not for you. I'm not for you.
Look, you are so right, because what I feel is you're right. Some of these women, and wait till tomorrow's show come out, y'all. Wait till tomorrow's show. Just to give y'all a quick preview of what tomorrow's show is, there are women teaching other women to use men for money.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable. But like you said, if she was really about that bad, she could have just married him. Even with a prenup, she still would have got money out of that relationship. Because you don't leave with, people think prenup, you don't leave with nothing. You leave with something, you just don't leave as much as what you would have left with, right? And so she could have took him for that ride. So I don't begrudge her either. At least she knew that, hey, I'm not ready. I'm still for the streets. I actually kind of respect that too. What I will say is, and this ain't gonna be popular for some dudes that might hear this, but he should have never messed with her in the first place, given the history. Man, I'm sorry.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing, and this was the celebrity version,
of course,
of what was happening that always happens in the neighborhood or the hood. You don't mess with the chick, or you don't try to wife the chick that has bunch of bodies of people you know. See,
that's the worst part.
That's the worst.
You know them dudes.
Exactly. Because there is an ego in men. Okay, there is a functional thing. I mean, because look at it. Will Smith is going through it, feelings hurt. Kanye going through it, feelings
crushed.
And these are guys that we consider good guys. We've seen them. These guys were doing the sweet stuff, the I care for you, I love you so much, I'm gonna accept you for all the garbage that you've done in your past. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be the father of your children, all of this stuff, just to get hurt. And then you can't unsee it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So that's why my thing is that, and I try to say this to my peers and any young woman that I come in, contact with about modesty. You really need to be modest, and that's a lost thing now, because we're in the show me times where we gonna show everything, but we need to, we kind of need to get back to some modesty, because it would help a lot of women if they were more modest than they are showy. It would help.
Yep. Let me get to this real quick. So T-Mac with the $5 super chat. Thank you, T-Mac. T-Mac says, send him back to the streets. Listen, man, I think T-Mac, man, if you listen to what me and Lucis is saying, again, you can't begrudge her for at least saying, look, I ain't ready. Now, we can sit here, we argue, okay, it's silly that why would you do that? But we don't begrudge her for doing it. She actually did the honorable thing. Some women would take it all the way to the marriage, take it all the way in. Like some women are in there for it. Now, luckily for her, Lori Harvey got a family that already got money. So she good. You know what I mean? She ain't got to fall back on Michael B. Jordan for any reason. And so if she just want to be for the streets, what we're saying is as men, we got to make better decisions too. So Lucis just made a statement. And I want to make sure I piggyback off that. You talk about women being modest. On this channel, I'm not even going to say like women hold back this and the third. When I tell women, I'm like, yo, be careful what you ask for. You want to be like men and you want to go ahead and run.
Right.
There's consequences to making those actions, to piling up those bodies. But dudes, same thing. Look, bro, I can't believe I'm telling you this at this older age, but there's consequences for stacking those bodies, bro. And what happens is that's time, that's money. Like bro, if you knew the investments, I had to pull out of investments to help my ex with her family. That money today, what it would have been if I'd kept that in there, it makes me shoulda, woulda, coulda. Can't worry about that. But I'm saying, bruh, it would make you sick.
Yeah. That's a good point. Chasing women costs you a lot. It really does. Like if you in your 20s, you need to be really, that's the best time to really start your investments. Right. All of them. That's the best time. You chasing women, you're going to the club, you're paying for that. You're paying for drinks. You're paying, you may pay for the room if you're not going to bring her home to the apartment. You're trying to get the flyest of the fly car when you should have just got you a hoopty that can get you to and from. Just smarter things to do with your time. Which we were talking about time. There's better things to do with your time than chase women. And then, like you say, stacking bodies is, women, I mean, the studies are out there too. You can look this up. Women don't want a man that don't have a lot of bodies. They, because they want the experience. But you just got to be smart about who you having bodies with. I think the day of games is over. You just need to be more forthright with women. And all that game playing is why we still having so many problems right now. Because let's understand, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You think women ain't smart enough to the game? I mean, think about it. The woman that accused Chris Brown of rape, sexual assault on the P. Diddy party, right? And of course, it was found out to be false and this and that and the other, right? But let's just understand this. We understand that women are smart enough to know, hey, I can just make the accusation, and you may want to pay me for not to get embarrassed or whatnot, because they're not even going after criminal charges. They're trying to take you straight to civil court. So
or get you to settle out of court.
Right?
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Stop playing those games, because I use Chris Brown because he's a celebrity, and I think a lot of people might have known that. But if you go down to civil court and sit there, you'll start seeing lineup after lineup of just trivial BS and people having to come out their pocket on something simple. Just to be real quick, there was a dude in, I think it was California or New Mexico or so. He was in the military. He had won some money. He didn't tell his family that he won the money, but it wasn't a lot of money per se. It was enough money for him to get a starter home, right? He gets married, buys a starter home, has a child. One of his siblings comes to visit, and they were talking about the home. And it was like, oh, this is a nice home, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, well, how much you paying? And the wife not knowing that the husband never told the family that he won money, told the sister, oh, no, your brother won money and bought this house cash. And the sister got livid, told the family, and the family ended up doing a class action suit against the brother that won, against the sibling that won the money. And while he proved like, hey, man, I didn't win a lot of money like that. I won enough money for the home. He still, at the end of the day, had to pay his family $10,000. They won. They still won.
Wait. I don't understand why. Why would?
Well, because this is the thing. We never talk about how family does things for you. So basically, he borrowed a car here and there. He borrowed some money here and there. They hooked him up here. They hooked him up there. They basically put a cash value to everything they've ever done for him from the age of 16 through this point. And they were awarded $10,000. But I'm saying it as an example because that's the frivolousness that's going on in these court systems where you literally can sue people for nothing and you may end up with them. It's like a lottery. You're just taking a chance. So and what you're saying, I'm just trying to piggyback on the aspect of being more serious and more forthright with your actions. Because like you say, you're talking to the young men out there and young women. You just have to be smart about what you're doing because the impending doom that you're putting on your life right now, I don't think a lot of people are really starting to say, hey, what do I want my life to look like at 40?
I was just about to repeat that. You said earlier, how much, sorry, I'm gonna cut you off, but I want to repeat what you said. You said that earlier, and I was just about to grab a notepad to write that down, but because I didn't want to forget. Things would change if people, and men too, some men out there too. So I just want to put it out in general. And it helped me. That's why I'm where I'm at right now, right? That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Writing down, where do I see myself? And you said 50, you made ages. I'm gonna tell you, you start to kind of change after your 30s. Every 5 years after 30, you starting to change. You are not the same person you was 5 years before, 5 years before that, right? So the changes are even more significant the older you get. You know what I mean? And so the more established that you get. And I think that is an exercise that young people need to do today. Where do I see myself? The problem is, Lucis, is that I've heard these same young people say, I don't know. And it's like, I didn't know, but you got to sit down and start doing the mental projection of it, and at least starting to visualize it. You guys visualize yourselves being famous and rock stars, and I'm gonna marry this rich dude, but you don't take the time to project where you're gonna be when you're older, just even taking a glimpse at it on the current path that you're on. You know what I mean? Let me get to a couple of these things. John says, what's up, fam? Sorry late to the channel. Thank you, appreciate you. Appreciate you for being here, brother. Thank you for being here. And then, I messed up. Mr. Jackson says, some of them want power of a man, the privilege of a woman, and the accountability of a child. Oh, man. I saw that earlier. I was like, smack, man. But yeah, that thing you said about seeing yourself where you want to be. After my car accident 7 years ago, and I said, man, I could be up out of here right now. And really, I'm gonna borrow, like I look at it, I'm gonna borrow time. We all gonna borrow time, but after you've been through an accident that could have ended yourself, you got to start looking at every moment after your moment that you skipped. It's all borrowed time. So what are you doing with that time? And I made a statement to my daughters yesterday. I said, listen, this ain't the popular thing to say, but I'm not here to be your friend. I'm on a mission. I don't give a shit if y'all don't even like me. I said, at the end of the day, we had businesses in this family, and I got to leave something behind because I cannot allow another generation to go on and somebody don't leave something. So I don't care about being your goddamn friend. y'all out there, I want you to know, gents, yeah, I'm gonna show you me having a great time and stuff like that. But there's so much more. This is an iceberg. I only show y'all 10%. The underneath is I'm on a mission. I'm the Killmonger right now. I don't give a crap what y'all think. I'm trying to leave some generational wealth behind. Period. What are you doing? What are you young ladies and you young men are doing? Right? Y'all not thinking, man. Sorry, went on my little rant. Real 1 second. Mr. Jackson went hard on that one.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Man, listen. It's time to go and start wrapping this up. What you got to say, man? What's on your mind, man? Let them know what you're thinking on the way out.
Actually, I'm gonna let Mr. Jackson have that. He said it all right there.
Let me put that back up.
I want to say to any man that looks at that and thinks that it's only women that want to operate like that, just look at the amount of men who are operating that same way. They look at dudes that are successful, and they literally are operating that same way. They want to be that dude, but then they acting like women, and then when you check them on it, they sound like children. You know what I'm saying? Excuses after excuses after excuses, and you're going, hey man, you can't. And the thing is that because we brought him up, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, but we need to understand one thing. I'm about to say understand. Kevin got cancer. He had Hodgkin's disease.
He did.
And thought he was going to die. Then when he didn't die, that's why he got on his grind.
He was on borrowed time.
Right. He got on a whole different grind. And that's why we know him today. That's why he took the bravery test. He didn't have to come out here and start chin checking modern women, which was probably it was the bravest thing he did, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because he was taking on tens of millions of women globally when he decided to say, hey, this gotta stop. Y'all are making bad decisions. You're not getting, and the thing that's funny is when he said they're making bad decisions, it was funny to realize in saying that is they're not making the decisions that's getting them the men they want. And that's the real caveat. We really have to start making decisions to get what we want. Men, same thing. If you want to be out here and you want to deal with a Jada Pinkett Smith, a Kim Kardashian, a Sierra, all of these kind of things, or Rihanna, because we don't really talk bad about Rihanna, not to talk bad about her, but Rihanna is just like Lori Harvey. She exactly like Lori Harvey. Rihanna has dated a bunch of well-known men, billionaires to millionaires, and now she has A$AP Rocky, who, let's understand the odds of that she's in her mid-30s, and she actually got a guy her own age, and she got pregnant. So that's an accomplishment. So if Rihanna can say, hey, this is the guy, and finally get out of that I'm the hot girl phase of life, come on now. We just got to make better decisions. And that, and so for me, I'm with you. I do want women to get better results.
I do too.
My question is, how do you get what you want when you talk so negative about men? That's my whole thing. Is you can't keep talking the same way you're talking with regards to men and think you're going to get one. Because I look at it like this. There's men who the MGTOW, like I told you, MGTOW, either it's the man going his own way, or it's a man guarding his wallet. Or man guarding his own wallet, right? So whether you go in one of those ways, those guys too can really get to a burning point when they don't like women. Well, if you don't, you're not gonna get one. So, I think a lot of times we forget that we're magnets. We attract, the words that come out your mouth do not return to you void. So, You know, I'll just drop a little
Mm.
biblical, just a
Oh, no, no,
little.
no. It's still there too. It's still there too.
Just a little bit.
A little
But
bit.
I'm just saying,
Un
the word
poquito.
you say will not return to you void. So when you think about that, I'm just saying, you know, we got to be a little more proactive in what we're trying to do with ourselves to get the results. And like I say, the only reason I even projected far for women is because women don't have the same opportunity as a man. Men can be mess ups up until 40, 50 years old and say, you know what, I'm gonna do something different and really have the best of life. I mean, Colonel Sanders popped off from KFC. He was 63.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Charles Bronson, he didn't even become a famous actor until he was 50. So, I mean, men, you know, it's that double standard, but men really can get the better parts of their life at any point. But women, we really have to be concerned about because Mother Nature or the universe or however it operates really forces women to say, hey, I need to make the better decisions before I make 27. And and I'm being nice because really I think you can make that decision like at 23 to 25, but 27, I think you really got to know where you're hitting at 27. But I think if women start really looking at how they want to look at 50, I think given that big thing, because it's going to make them say, what am I going to look like at 50? Because you got a reference. You got a mama that's probably 50, or you got a grandmama that's in her 50s, right? For some of these girls.
Right.
And so it's going to make them look and say, ooh, do I want to be like Nana?
See, I don't think they look at that. They be like, oh, my mama or my grandma look like my mama and my mama look like my sister. And is this, they see it, they're like, oh, I want to be hot like my grandma. I'm talking about the younger women and thinking like, that's what you want to aspire to be instead of like, grandma, why ain't you like, I'm not saying you have to look bad, but you ain't like a big mama. You ain't,
Right.
You come to the club with us. So, like you said, 3 generations in the club. That shouldn't be a badge of honor. That's not a badge of honor. If you still look, women are quick to say, well, if you a man and you still in the club and you this age, you should be ashamed of yourself. But yet and still, I still go out and I still see women doing the same thing. So, anyway. Yeah. Look, I tell you, you gave me my closing monologue for tonight. Because I want something to be clear. And I'll talk about it in the monologue. The monologue. Closing out. It's about the decision making. It's about where you want to see the outcome. And I think one of the things that was most misunderstood about Kevin Samuels, most misunderstood, is he asked you your question was, where do you see yourself in this amount of years? Where do you want to be at? And then he would allow you to rate yourself, talk about yourself, and then he would say, well, how do you expect to get there? Using facts, numbers, and statistics.
Yeah.
And say the math don't work.
Right.
It don't work. Your plan doesn't work. And as a retired chief, I had to tell people your plan is crap.
Right.
I'm sitting here, you can't see it, but there's a table right here. And I would have as a chair right in front of me. And literally, this is how my desk was. This is the kitchen table. This is how my desk was in my office. Last story, before I retired, right? And I'm sitting there, and my young dudes would come talk to me. And I'm sitting there listening to these stories like, bruh, what you saying don't make no sense. Telling those young cats, what you talking about don't make any sense. And I think that's what we're talking about here.
Yep. The
things that people are doing and saying is out of line. And listen, and his dudes too, just like you said, man. So thank you for being here, bro.
Yep.
I appreciate you. I'm gonna do my monologue and then I'm gonna shut it down. I'll see you next week.
Cool.
And I think you gave me 2 topics to come off for next week.
All right. Well, hey, I did my job then. All right. Good night.
Hey, 2 things you said, maybe it's like, oh, that might be good to talk about. All right, brother. Have a good night. All right, y'all. Let me get back to the closing out this. So we had a spirited discussion tonight. Uh, we talked about a lot of things tonight, and I think that I want to piggyback off of something that Lucy said tonight. Before you guys check out of here, um, you got to know where you want to be at. I want something to be clear about this channel. I think it's about 80% of the people that subscribe to this channel are men. Maybe it's 70 now, maybe it's 90. Who knows? I haven't looked at it in a while. But what we want, and this is the biggest thing I agree with Kevin Samuels about. I want people to get the best outcomes for themselves that is going to benefit themselves. It's going to benefit society, man. And listen, as growing up a poor black dude, it is so pitiful to see my people go through the things they're going. I'm actually do say what Lucy said. You know, you got to come with a little scripture. It is sad to see my people perish for a lack of knowledge and understanding. My uncle always used to bring up a scripture. I'm not trying to get church with y'all, but truth is truth. There's a scripture that says wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And in all thy getting, get understanding. And when I put those scriptures all together, what I realized, and what you probably realize when you look at TV, when you look at social media, y'all can't deny it. There's a lot of stupidity going on out there. There are a lot of people doing and saying dumb things only so that they can be recognized or seen or at the hopes of getting famous. Is fame all that it's cracked up to be? I mean, I want y'all to think about it. If you are a messed up individual and a messed up person that is famous, adding money to it doesn't make you better. It's adding gasoline to the fire, which is you. And what we talk about in this channel may not be the most receptive, or it may not come in the package that you want to hear it. But at the end of the day, I stand by this, and from the beginning of this channel, gents, men, women, I talk about improving yourself. I talk about being on your purpose. I talk about being the best version of yourself. Lucis and I, if you ever look at our chats when he comments on my videos, him and I, or videos or the post, community post that I tag, if you look at some of our conversations, him and I have something that we talk about pretty similar. And the one thing that him and I talk about is being on purpose. So if you get back to Michael B. Jordan, I think he lost himself for a little bit. I think he's losing himself right now. Going through a breakup is pretty tough. That's why it's important to know where you're going. It has nothing to do with being with somebody else. I'm telling you guys for a fact because I've been through it. I make sure now, you're going to start hearing in the beginning of every video, I want y'all to know that I did 20 years in the military. I'm a retired chief. I had my ups and I had my downs. I almost failed at it. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I tell you guys that to know that sometimes you gotta be about your purpose. When things are going wrong, when things aren't going your way, when life is crashing down around you, when nobody understands what is going on with you, and you feel lost. And you can't tell me some of you guys don't feel lost out there. I see it every day. I read it in the comments. I hear it. I hear people depressed more now than ever. And you're lost and you're like, I don't know where to go from here. It's because you don't have no purpose. I just told you, you guys only see 10% of what I let y'all see. 10%. I have a mission. And I want you guys to figure out what your mission is. And I hope that Michael B. Jordan doesn't lose sight of what he's accomplished and what more he has to do. Like Lucis talked about earlier, not letting somebody like Laura Harvey breaking up with you get you completely down. Yeah, you're going to be sad because that person took some of your time. But don't be sad. She gave you a dignified exit. She could have married you. She could have married you and took you for half of what you were. And you would look even sillier. Who cares? Who cares? I think there is something to being a Killmonger. Because Killmonger is driven and focused. Killmonger knows what he's trying to accomplish. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think you have to lose being the Michael B. Jordan type of dude in order to see the success that you want to have. But once you've achieved a certain level of success, you don't let people come in your life that's going to pull that down. And that's what I hope that he learns. That's what I hope that you guys learn. That's what I've learned. Because at the end of the day, we're only given a finite amount of time on this rock. What are you going to do with it? This is for men and women. It's not about what you can acquire. It's not about the prestige. It's not about any of that stuff. What are you doing with that time that is going to be meaningful and beneficial to you, yourself, your family, and others? We're not just bashing women. There are dudes that need this type of tough love. And I hope you guys receive it. Don't look at Michael B. Jordan as a failure. Look at him as a man who has one more day of experience in life that I hope that he takes and lives his best life. Let me go here to the comments and the chat to make sure I thank all of my people here. I want to thank T-Mac for being here, and I want to thank you for the $5 super chat. I want to thank you guys for all of you guys that have contributed to this channel. I can't do it without you guys. Again, I use this money and I reinvest it right back in here. Okay, I'm okay. It's nice. It'd be nice to have some benefit from the long hours I put in, but really and truly, having these discussions is more important. And the Kevin Samuels of the world and the other people that are out there discussing this show it every day. And I'm grateful that you guys have allowed me your time. Thank you, T-Mac. I want to thank Mr. Jackson. I put this back up on the screen, this specific one from Mr. Jackson, because Mr. Jackson came with the elbow tonight. Thank you for being here. Okay. I want to thank John from Ham's Flights Kit Box. Check him out. Thank you for being here. I know you was late, but you was here, and that's more important to me. I appreciate that. I want to thank Wanda Misamichi, dropping gems and bombs on us too. Go check out her channel. You want to see a woman that is doing what she is supposed to do in terms of showing you how a family is supposed to be taken care of, how you go ahead and take care and her husband, how they raise their boys. An example, a shining example. You have no one other to look to than Miss Amici and her channel. Go check her out. Thank you very much for being here. Haven't seen Snuggles in a while. Thank you for being here, Snuggles. I appreciate you. Right? I want to thank my guest, Lucis, for being here. He's been on here a couple of times. I appreciate it because you always give great insight. You and I talk a lot through the channel and comments on these videos. And before y'all leave, I'm going to tell y'all a little bit more about tomorrow's video, so don't go nowhere. Can't believe Philip was in here. Philip was in the house, man. Go back like 4 flats in the Cadillac. Thank you for being here, Philip. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. And thank you guys, you all guys, for being here tonight. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And so, just so you know, I have a video coming out tomorrow. The video tomorrow, I saw a video last week where it was a woman telling women how to use men for money. And I'm not going to give it away. The video will drop at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central Time, like it normally always does. I want to know what you guys think about this. I want to know what you guys think about this woman teaching. And I have other clips in there, so you got to stay through the end because in there are some other clips. And it's just to highlight that this is what modern women think of themselves. This is what women today think of themselves and their value. But I don't want to go into it. I'd rather discuss it in tomorrow's chat, so make sure you'll look out for that. And on Friday, I'm going to do a simple video of more travel here in Playa del Carmen. If you haven't seen my latest video, I show you this apartment, show you how I tell you at the end how much I paid for it. Let me know if you think I got value out of this apartment. This weekend, I'm going to go out. I'm going to get Fifth Street. It's the equivalent of Bourbon Street or Fremont Street if you're in Las Vegas. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to get all kind of footage from that. I'm going to get all kind of footage from the clubs this weekend so you guys can see what I'm saying. Expect more different footage, daily living footage, and the hot scene here on this channel. So you're going to make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon notification next to it so you don't miss any future videos here on TSG. And with that being said, live your best life.